Set it up.
I'm not ashamed.
I just don't like talking live with you all.
Hi, welcome to the Required Podcast. Episode, is it 8? I think we're on 8. I'm pretty sure.
8.
8.
Yes.
It is 8. Can you guys believe
Yes.
that we've been doing this for... It's been 3 months.
Holy shit.
At
We
least-
haven't killed each other yet?
At least 3 months. Well, I mean, mind
Not
you,
yet.
we've done this literally like 9
been
times, but...
We've been doing this so long, we don't even need introductions anymore.
Holy shit! I didn't even
Oh.
fucking think about it. I'm just every time, dude, because I'm so yeah. It's just I feel that if you're on episode 8 by now, you either have watched some episodes that are ahead by now or before, and I think you should recognize our voices. I think at this point it's on you, viewer. All right.
It's on you.
Oh,
Anyway,
for God's sake.
I'm Brandon.
I'm bearded.
I'm Cody.
And I'm Gelf.
I like how everyone goes. I'm.
We just followed the OG,
Mob
man.
mentality.
Sorry.
Like, yes, boss, get in line. I'm Cody. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Gelf, happy Father's Day. Cody, happy Father's
Oh,
Day.
thank you.
Especially Bearded, happy Father's Day.
I don't have kids.
You are the most
Happy
father
Father's Day.
of everyone right now. All right,
Yeah, he is.
with your 7 kids, it's I don't know how you do it. Six.
You know what I got?
Buy one, get
You
one
know what I
free.
got The Kmart special. You know what I got my husband for Father's Day?
Do it. Do
An
what?
IUD.
Oh. Got him a what? I missed it.
An IUD.
I'm sorry.
That's a 10-year birth control.
Yeah, Brandon.
uh,
Yeah, I was gonna say Brandon know what it is. Yeah.
Sorry, we don't deal with that black magic. Okay.
Oh no! Don't worry. I'll write a letter to the Vatican. I'll get you an exception.
Tiffany and I have been talking about something like that, and it's just like, because we're to a point where it's just like, hey, you want any other kids? And I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I already can get by on Father's Day, so I mean, why have 2 kids? Bearded. Sorry.
What?
What was? I do want to.
Wait, what?
I do want Bearded to. You've said this to me every Father's Day since you've known me, pretty much, Bearded. I don't know if you've noticed this, but can you repeat that?
Yeah. We're just telling you Happy Father's Day, and you're not the stepdad. You're just the dad that stepped up, man.
I think that's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome, and it's cool because there are a lot of and maybe there's people listening to us right now, but there's stepdads out there that feel like the lesser of the fathers, or we are filling shoes. Mind you, okay, I guess people don't really get the context. I'm playing stepdad at the moment. I came into my daughter's life when she's like 1.5, 2, and she's 8. So I've been around for quite a long time, and it did take me a long time to kind of get over the fact of being stepdad. But the real dad was he is a piece of shit. I will just say it. But but
There
there's
goes that viewer.
but there's fuck 'em. There's a lot of stepdads out there that maybe the real dad isn't a piece of shit, but you still might feel like the lesser person, but you're not. You're just as equal of a dad as that other dad.
Most
And
definitely.
It took me a bit to kind of realize that, and I get my annual dose of Bearded, and it's really cool. And I've gotten to a point where it's just like, yeah, I'm dad. Who's dad? I'm dad.
That's
Hell yeah. Look in the mirror. Look at you. I'm dad. You're the dad. Fuck yeah.
Look at
You are the father. Woo!
There's
Throw 'em out
also a
there.
difference between father and dad. Like you can
Yeah.
be a father genetically, but you can't be a dad without being invested in the kid's life and, giving up so much of yourself, stepping up, all this good stuff. So, I mean, you might be a stepfather, but you are her dad,
I mean, I'm not a father. I'm just a dad. Happy Dad's Day. That doesn't sound as good.
Happy Father's Day to anybody that wears shorts and a belt.
That's me every day at work. What the fuck is that supposed to
That's
mean?
me too.
Got some socks and
Oh.
some sandals. All right.
Happy Father's Day, whether you know how to grill or not.
Oh,
I gotta-
I'm good at it.
I got a grill this afternoon.
I already did yesterday.
See, look at that, Cody.
Nice.
You wear shorts with a belt. You got.
I know, I just
you
need
got
the
some
kid.
little. You do. You got little fur dogs. You got little fur babies.
Oh yeah, those
Dad.
two
But
little
do you
fur
wear
babies.
socks and sandals?
Fuck yeah, he does. I've seen it.
Um,
Don't let him tell you. anything.
Yeah, but it's like the slip-ons. It's like the slides, not the sandals. I don't wear sandals. I wear slides.
So he's
Big
okay.
difference.
Okay, happy half Father's Day. All right, you passed. You got like a C minus. All right, you're in.
Just gotta pop the kid out, and then I be a B plus. Then get the sandals A plus.
God damn, dude. Then you gotta get your #1 dad mug and
Yeah.
your kiss the cook apron and
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
God.
you gotta
yes.
start spouting out dad jokes. It's okay, you'll get there. You know,
I'll get there.
I will say,
Oh, yeah.
when I was younger, I hated my dad's dad jokes, but I didn't
Freaking
They're
love 'em.
funny.
I didn't practice them, but once you become a dad, you just absorb that power. That you just have it. Like you can't help it, but it just
Oh, yeah.
happens. It's just like, hey dad, I'm hungry, and I'm just like, oh here it
Oh.
comes. Oh, I can't contain myself. Hi hungry, I'm dad. And Eliza just fucking she loves
I can't contain myself.
it.
Oh, jeez.
Dad, I'm starving. I'm starving, I'm dead. I do it every fucking time, and she's just like, Dad.
I'm literally wasting away. Feed me.
Oh,
Dad
yeah,
jokes
you're
have gone on for enough years.
I gotta get him in before she
Mhm.
grows up and leaves. And
Then you'll have to text them to her or
Oh,
do
then-
voice recordings
I
or
gotta,
you know.
I'll have to give him to Tiffany, and she fucking loves him. Like I'll tell you right now, she loves dad jokes. She
The
hates
way
them.
that you kind of chortled at the end of that makes me think you're not being entirely honest.
Ah, it's fine. It's just- I'm her favorite. She comes to me for jokes. You can ask her. She'll
I'll
never be on
actually
this
have
podcast
dad
again.
joke offs with a guy at my
Whoa!
work. His name's
Joke.
David.
It's joke,
And-
Brandon.
I said joke off, like a joke competition. Clean your ears out. Anyway, we'll actually trade dad jokes back and forth, and I've gotten him a couple of times, especially with the astronaut and the space jokes.
Can we put you on the
I don't
spot?
know these.
I want to hear this.
Well, I mean, it's stuff like where do
Uh-oh.
astronauts go to drink? The space bar.
Oh.
Or
Oh.
you know, they opened a new restaurant on the moon. Yeah, the food was great, but there was no atmosphere.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Mhm.
Stuff like that, really. And then like really simple things like, why does my bike keep falling over? Well, it's too tired.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
How do you track Will Smith in a snowstorm? You follow the Fresh Prince.
Nice.
Oh.
I got a
think-
groan. I'm happy.
Does that joke I sent you yesterday, Cody? Does that count as a dad joke? So I
You
sent
know,
Cody,
it probably would. Yeah.
so I was I was working yesterday and I saw this this package and it had some writing on it. I'll get to it in a second. But I was like, hey Cody, I texted him as soon as I saw it. I knew, and this is how dad jokes work. You just see it and you just know. And I was like, hey, have you heard of Epic's new game? Like, you know, Epic Games. And he's like, and I waited before I sent the picture because I like to hook Cody into a joke just to
God.
I love it. I'll wait for the answer. No, and it was like, oh no, what is it? And I sent him a picture of this box. It said Fort Bikes, and I was like, oh my god, it's just so dumb because Fortnite. I just-
Or-
No.
yeah, it was a rough one. I knew it was gonna be
Oh, that's
real jagged going down, but I was like, yeah, you go, you idiot.
It was. I was like, what? No, that can't be real.
Yeah, it was a box full. It said Tree
That was
Fort
funny.
Bikes or something. And I was just like, yeah. Anyway,
Do you guys
Um,
ever read the newspaper?
what's a newspaper?
Yeah, right. So there was a
Dying
midget
industry.
psychic was being held in a prison and he escaped. You know what the headline said?
Oh, I read that one. It was
Small, medium, at
Medium
large.
at large. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, high five, bearded.
I'll give you a Wi-Fi through the internet.
It works. It works. It works.
Wow, this is going to be a podcast filled with horrible, horrible jokes. This is wonderful.
Horrible. It's
Happy
not
Father's Day,
good.
everyone. You know what? I should have done that. I should have loaded up on a whole bunch of shit jokes before we started. I didn't think
Yeah,
about
I
it.
know. That would have
You
been
know
hilarious.
what you've got at your fingertips? You have Google, man. You have Google.
No, that's unoriginal. I want to make my own.
Well,
Joke thief.
you
Then they're
kinda
really
did.
going to be true.
the one
dad
you told
jokes.
me, you still have that one.
Oh, yeah, I could. Hey, guys, you guys ever heard of it? No, okay. So, speaking of games, E3 is all wrapped up, finally. That was
Mhm.
that was an adventure. Okay, go ahead. I heard somebody groan.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I
just
did-
said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a yeah. Like, oh,
I was
God.
actually reading an article talking about how a lot of publishers and devs and things like that were really holding back the hype this year because they didn't want, because
Yep.
last year, if I remember correctly, was like hugely disappointing because they promised so much and they were talking about this and talking about that, and nothing, like half of it never got delivered. You know, I mean, Anthem, for God's sake, that was
Yeah.
everybody's favorite shit show.
Yeah.
Now, this year they're talking about how they just they held back the hype. They showed people what they had. They're hopefully not over promising, under
Yeah,
delivering.
More reasonable expectations. rather than-
Exactly. So I think that's good. Honestly, I mean, yeah, we don't have as much rabid. Oh my God, look at, did you see this?"
Yeah. And the industry fed on that too much too. It was a big problem because it gives us certain brands a lot of hype when people are like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be the best game ever," and then it comes out, and a year later it comes out and it's not as good as promised. But yeah, they just kept doing it, and now they're not. Which the underwhelmingness to the fans you can tell, but it's also hopefully a good thing. But
What
we'll see.
What was your guys' favorite announcement? What's like the one thing that
Cyber.
just got you fucking like, okay, remotely like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, the only thing that
Cyberpunk.
really stood out to me was the the Blair Witch game.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see the video.
It looks like your standard first person run and
Yeah.
kind of game. But I think it's interesting that that's the IP that they pulled out of the drawer,
I know.
dusted it off and slapping it on. I didn't get to see anything from Dino Crisis from Capcom, so I'm fucking calling you out, Capcom. Give me my goddamn Dino Crisis remake and the RE7 engine, please.
Oh, I heard a
But
couple
yeah,
people
that's all I
asking for
really-
that. What is
Yeah,
that?
it's.
I have no
Have
clue
you
what
never
it is.
played Dino Crisis?
I've heard of
I
it.
remember
Dino.
Okay,
For the PlayStation
so real quick,
1.
yeah, it was a PlayStation 1 game. It was like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs, basically.
Oh jeez.
Like Velociraptors and shit.
Yikes.
Don't ever play the third one. The second one, if I remember correct, is okay. First one's really good, but it gets weird, like temporal anomalies, kind of weird, and we don't talk about that. But there's
you have
quite
to
a
talk about
few-
it.
I don't. I pretend
That's
it
an
doesn't
odd
exist.
game. Wait,
Um,
did
Yeah,
they?
that's what I got.
Did that come out? No, I was looking. It looks like an HDR remake they did, but
There's a fan-made remake where they
Oh.
rebuilt it in the Resident Evil engine with a mod.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But it doesn't have dinosaurs in it. It's just got the main character running around like, look at me, I'm the main character.
Speaking of remakes, there was a lot this year.
Oh God.
I think it was good. Again, there's a bunch of games that you guys probably don't give a shit about, but they're remaking, or they
Yes,
didn't remake.
most-
They remade Final Fantasy VII. It looks absolutely amazing. They
Yeah.
are remastering Final Fantasy VIII, which doesn't look much different. But
Yay, Quistis. No,
I
wait, she's
really-
9.
I really like that one, so that's a good one. Again, I'm excited for a lot of games that I say again, I haven't even said it on the podcast. I saw it on Twitter. I'm excited. Like, there's a lot of games that I'm not particularly excited for or don't plan on playing, but I'm excited for the people who are excited for the stuff. Because it's. I would rather be supportive and be like, hey, this isn't my thing, but I'm so glad you're happy, than just be like, yeah, you know what, this game is just shit, blah blah. And there are
I can't do that.
there's some
just
games
shit
where it's just
games out
like,
there.
I mean, yeah, there are some games where it's just like, this doesn't look very
It doesn't-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A remake just to milk in more money. Yeah. Hell
But Final Fantasy VII, though, I mean, come on, look how much fucking work they
yeah. It
put
means
into that.
literally nothing to me.
I know because you don't care about the series, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
when you look at the PlayStation 1 version,
But what they did
was it PlayStation 2 or was it PlayStation
last
1?
year too, or something. So it's like a few years in a row they're remaking stuff for money.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Shows lack of creativity.
yeah, no.
No drive to extend. It's
If
just
you
to
want
remake.
creativity, step out of the AAA and go into the fucking indies.
Thank you.
That's
I
where you're
play
gonna get your
indies.
creative
I
experiences.
just, but again, I play AAA's too, and that whole franchise though is just nothing. Doesn't mean nothing to me, but a lot of the stuff they're just beaten to death.
The thing to get excited about,
annoying.
especially when it comes to remakes, is the technology that they're developing in order to
Yeah.
create these things.
Yeah.
That even if you don't give a shit about the games, the tech that goes into it, the people that are like the new experiences, the new rendering technologies and things like that, that's what you should be getting excited about. AAA or indie, there is some amazing fucking shit out there. New engines.
Do it on a good game.
it- or
That's how
you could be excited for people who like games.
No, not
Fan
those. I'm
favorites
not,
are getting remade.
not
is what's
excited
happening.
at all.
What's getting remade?
I said fan favorites. That's why
Oh,
things
yeah.
get remade because people, they see other games getting rebooted
'Cause
and they're
Twitter.
like, "Oh, well, I want this other. I want my game to be, remastered this and that." That's why
Well, do you
like
guys
Final
remember-
Fantasy 7 and 8.
Sorry.
8 was not near as popular as 7, but it's still
Yeah, but that's the thing
Oh.
people are bitching about in movies, and it saturates the market to where they're not as.
I think movies
It's not
are
the
different.
same. I don't, because when you remake it, you're making it to an extent. They're kind of different because I guess in games they don't necessarily change storylines, although I think they might.
Well, here's
Some
the
ways.
thing: the presence of a remake does not negate the existence of the original. So even if you do get a remake of a movie or a game or something like that, you will always have the original available to you. So if you don't like the remake, go play the original. If you hated the original and never played it, go play the remake. You literally have more freedom than anything else. And remember when we talked about a while ago, we talked about how our generation is the generation of nostalgia because we grew up with these different kinds of technology, tape decks and shit like that. And now all of a sudden we've got smartphones and, and wireless charging and all this crazy shit.
Right.
These remakes, this is coming out of our generation for our generation because we're such a our generation is caught in such a weird position as far as things are concerned because technology just in and of itself has advanced so crazy far just in the last 20 years, last 30
Yeah.
years. How old are you kids? 30 years, we'll say that.
We're not
But-
that old.
God damn.
that's
we need
why-
a fucking walker over here. Continue.
It better have fucking tennis balls on it. But I mean, that's why these remakes are such a big thing right now because they're being made by and for our generation, because we are the generation of
but-
nostalgia, in my opinion.
But the originals weren't made by our generation, so wouldn't our generation want to create something of their own so the next generation would like to play?
Well,
No, because it's the thing,
Rather than create
games-
remaking stuff.
these games were made for these games and movies were made either they're by an older generation and we consumed them, or we consumed them
Yeah.
at some point during our childhood, and that's why we want to revisit them because they weren't originally made for us at 30 years old. They were made for us at they were made for our parents at 15, at 20. They were made for our parents at 30. They were made for somebody else. We experience them and we want a version of them made for ourselves. Now, does that mean that we want everything to be remade? No, God, no, fuck no. But does it mean that we're
Feels like it.
well? I mean, yeah.
I've got something on this.
Yeah, go ahead, Console.
Yeah, so I guess the way that I would see it as what was it when like the original Final Fantasy 7 came out, PlayStation or whatever, I was like, I don't know, 8 maybe. And to see it now again with the era of nostalgia, we people, as I guess I'll just put it, what do you mean you people? To see it now, because you're like, oh, I played that during my childhood, and again, it wasn't my favorite game. Final Fantasy isn't my favorite series, but it's still like the nostalgia of it. It's like, holy shit, that's so cool. And the point of why doesn't our generation make something from the next generation? There are fucking millions of games being made fucking constantly with indies
But then-
or triple A's or whatever. But you know, we need to like.
Yeah, but it feels like these older companies that have made these games a long time ago that still have most likely the older generation still in top brass who make the decisions, not the ones who make it, but the ones who make the decisions are saying, we are the nostalgia group, so let's remake this to bring money in. That's all it feels like in a lot of ways, especially big games like
and people
Final
forget
Fantasy
it is a
series.
business. It 1000% is a business.
Well,
You
here's
have
That's
to
another
my
make
thing.
take on it.
And there's a lot of
They
fans that
wouldn't-
want that remake.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. They wouldn't remake it for money unless they knew that people were going to buy it.
Oh yeah, that's what
And
I'm
if-
saying is the older generation knows people want it because we were young when it first came out. So now when we're older and they understand we're that nostalgia group where we love going back into our past, then they're gonna know that we want the remake.
That's exactly it. They're
purely for
giving
money.
us-
It is
they're
them.
giving us what we want,
Eh.
and they're making money off of it. It's a business. Yeah. I mean, do you think they would remake it for us just for free?
No, but I'm saying the only reason they're remaking it is for money. They don't care. They don't care about what people want. It's for the money, rather than the joy of making a game.
I would rather
You
see
know what I'm saying?
remakes
Like a smaller
than
company.
I would rather see remakes than see another fucking Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
the same
I
thing.
agree.
I know, that's all I'm saying. I would rather
They're
see
both
remakes.
the same thing.
Now, if it's a remake,
mean,
like
it's-
if you're remaking the game, see, okay,
I
because
mean, Call of Duty's a remake every year, but
right.
but-
So, yeah, go ahead. I'll look up something.
well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like this is the same thing. They're remaking it, but it's different in a lot of ways. So it's like the same game but different,
Okay.
just like Call of Duty's are
Question.
for the most part.
So, Final Fantasy VII is being remade. It's releasing what next year? I think
2020.
I think so.
yeah.
2020. Right. Do you know when the original released? And it's only been. This is the first time this game has ever been remade. So, it was released
No clue.
January 31st, 1997.
And what do you mean the first time it's going to get remade again?
No, so I'm saying this is the first time it's being remade. It's been over 20 years. So now an
it's
entirely
never been
new
touched.
generation is able to play that game. That was so like it had such a crazy wicked
But they
story.
can make new games that are like Final Fantasy were to us.
Right, and they do.
They
and will.
have.
Yeah.
I
They
disagree.
have.
I disagree.
Well, you disagree
What do you think
because they're
Stardew
not.
Valley
that's not,
was? I
that's not your
mean,
type of game.
that's-
That's why you disagree.
That's one
and I
game,
get
and that's
it.
an indie dev. That's what I'm saying. Like the major guys are just remaking a lot of things rather than coming up with new ideas, which they have the biggest pull to get audiences in.
I don't see what the problem is though. I mean, the AAAs are going to make AAA games, the indies are going to make
Yeah.
indie games, and they're all going to pull inspiration from what people want because they're not going to make something that people aren't going to buy, and they do
Well, a
focus
lot of people
research
do.
to see what people actually want to play. And Call of Duty is a very popular game. It's enjoyable. People have honed their skill sets to the point where they're literally professionals at it. Of course they're going to make another game because so many people play it. And that doesn't make it any more or less worthy of being rebuilt. I mean, do I think they should
Oh.
make a new one every year? No, not really. But I think that falls
Yeah.
apart when you look at something like Assassin's Creed, which they were like, oh, we're going to do a yearly Assassin's Creed game. Well, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
A Call
Well,
of
and then
Duty
they
game,
stopped that, and they got better.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, yeah.
agree.
See,
Yeah.
it's
They got way better.
experimentation
That's why I
in the
didn't include
approach.
them when I said Call of Duty earlier. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah, they
Assassin's
got-
Creed, but I remember the
They
last
did it
one
for a
seems
few,
really
and then they
good,
were
so,
like, we're gonna skip a year, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, but then you look at the Assassin's Creed games, and that's a game series that has never been made before. Like that was very unique.
Yeah,
And as far as like the mechanics and the story and things like that,
yeah, it was.
our following generation is going to go back to that and be like, oh my god, this is so fucking cool.
I don't know. I
Tetris-
think our generation was out of those
Tetris.
games.
Tetris was a fantastic game back when it was released, and people lost their minds about it. They learned how to play it. They became professionals.
That's
at
because it was just
and now
that's
you've
so
got
different.
now you've got a whole new approach to it. They've remade it for our generation because we want multiplayer competitive. Cool. Here's this classic game that you grew up with
Isn't it cool?
in a new form, and it's going to be
No.
a whole new experience.
Tetris 99 is so interesting. It's just regular Tetris, but you get to play with people, and just like, oh, it's neat. It's not,
Game's not. I don't know.
but it's cool because okay. So I'm branching off from Tetris.
They found
but
a way to do it, but I didn't need it.
They're my train just derailed. I had it. It's when you get to a point where you're remaking old games and old series to fit the modern generation, and to, you know, finding ideas and ways on how to make mechanics better, quality of life changes, because that's another thing. And like trying to differentiate the difference between a bad game or a bad series or a bad remake, between stuff that you don't care about or you just don't like, that's not your type of genre. Like, I don't like first person shooters, but, you know, every time I see a new one, I try not to knock it. Like Halo, like, oh, looks good. Doom looks good. Oh, Call of Duty. I don't really care for that one because it's being remade every year. But there's, you know, when I see Doom, it's like, holy fuck, that's cool. Like, probably not gonna play it, but I'm glad that they're pushing forward. You know, Halo comes out. Halo doesn't come out too often. You know, they're pushing for story, first person shooter. Cool, I get it. But it's just, you know, it's not my thing. But I'm not gonna knock it because it's, you know, the series is continuing. You know, fucking, again, Final Fantasy is my favorite series, but there's like 30 of them. You know, it's cool when they release a new one because it's different from the last one. It's not a yearly release by any means, but it's, you know.
But
anyway.
this new installment might be the one that gets you into the series. You don't know.
Right.
The different approach. I mean, I'm actually, I don't like first person shooters either, but if they have accessibility options that allow someone with motion sickness to play it, I'm gonna fucking play Infinite. Fuck yeah.
Is that why it's hard from the blur and stuff?
It depends on the game. I mean, there are some games that have accessibility options that I don't give a shit about, like Call of Duty. I don't care.
Oh, they just don't help at all.
Well, I'm not interested in the game.
Well,
that's why I don't play them.
But like the Halo one is, if they had accessibility, you'd play it.
Well, no, not necessarily. No. With the older Halo games, like, yeah, they're interesting. Yeah, they're a part of gaming history, but I have no interest in them, whether they had accessibility or not.
So you never played them?
With this new one, never played them.
Wow.
But this new one, well, I was also a PlayStation person. I'm still a PlayStation person. I don't do Xbox.
Oh.
So now that they're going to be on PC and Infinite's going to be available, I'll play that because it looks interesting, you know?
I play everything. I didn't play PlayStation for the longest time. It was mainly Xbox, but
dude, ever since the Switch
came out with fucking
Nintendo has completely absorbed me. I don't care about the other.
Yeah, well, it had you before that. You just
I know.
Didn't understand
I know. That's what it was. I have this strange feeling, Papa.
Had you
I don't know
grip
how
forever, bro.
I know. I fucking love it. And my favorite announcement. Can you guys guess what it is? It's a Nintendo one.
I don't care.
Your favorite what?
Nintendo swept. I can't even pick which one would be your favorite.
Right? Animal Crossing, New Horizons.
Oh shit, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, the release date sucked though. They announced it? So
they were like, oh,
so
it's
far
delayed
ahead of time. Damn.
Because so the last Animal Crossing was released 6 years ago, and those games are built for longevity, 100%.
Are they?
Yeah, and they
played it. So.
They were like, we're gonna delay it because we want to pack as much as we can into it, and everyone was like, and they they don't want to crunch this and that, and everyone was like, oh, okay, you gave us a date. Fuck yeah, that's fine with me. And I have to agree. Yeah, because if the last one was,
I might play this one.
Ago,
I didn't play the last one, but
yeah,
this one, you talked me into it, and then now I got to switch. I might as well play it with you.
This is the first Animal Crossing with, I think they said it was online and like local co-op and shit. I was like, blew my mind. I was like, holy shit. Because I've been playing Animal Crossing since the very first one on GameCube. Technically, the original one came out on Nintendo 64. But yeah. And I fucking love it. And considering the last one was released on 3DS 6 years ago, this one's being released on a giant console.
Console.
It should have way more shit in it.
That's the reason I didn't play the other one. Is the 3D. I was never interested in the 3DS. Now I got a Nintendo Switch. It's so big now. They're going to get a bigger audience for sure.
But this game has a lot more to it, because Animal Crossing is like, you go around your town, you talk to villagers, you decorate it however you want, blah blah. But this one is like you actually have to like craft shit, and like
that's what I was about to say. Like I didn't know how it played out. How do you earn stuff? How do you all that? I don't know.
I thought that was just mind blowing. And then
that'd be cool. Add a little RPG element.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And Link's Awakening, again, it's a remake, but mind you, this game was released on the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, back in forever ago, and I fucking love that one. I was too young to I couldn't grasp that game I was like, just, you know, when they're like, oh, go speak to the wise man, blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't know where that is. I'm gonna go play outside. And I never finished the game, but I was like, this is a great chance where I can finally finish that game, because I love the new art style with it. It's real cutesy, and I figured a lot of people were gonna bash on that, but it turned out great. I think it looks awesome.
There's also the Breath of the Wild sequels coming out too.
God, that okay.
Right?
So that I am super duper hyped for that, because I love Legend of Zelda. But I can't be super. I can't say that was my favorite announcement, because all they said was that they were developing it. I can't be like, oh,
no trailer or anything.
They did give a trailer.
Oh, they did.
I'll walk you through it, I guess. But so it's like,
You don't have to.
well, it's fucking, it's so cool. So for listeners, like, it shows like Link and Zelda, you know, walking. I think they're under Hyrule Castle itself, and in Breath of the Wild 1, Calamity Ganon is like trapped in the area of Hyrule Castle. And it's pretty neat. So like, you beat him, blah blah, and then like they're in this like crypt thing, and they're going on this fucking long adventure, I guess, because they have like a pack yak looking thing, and they see this like mummified dude that's being like held down by this like hand of light, like on his chest. It looks really fucking cool. And then like, as they're walking down, this music is like playing backwards, and it's so fucking creepy. And then like the skeleton like shakes and its eyes turn red, and it looks like a mummified Ganondorf. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, because we haven't seen him in Breath of the Wild yet. We've seen the Calamity Ganon, like the fucking puppets and this and that. And I was like, oh shit.
Do you think they're gonna try to like what's the word? Do you think they're gonna try to bring all the timelines back together?
So apparently, the Breath of the Wild is already set at the end of all timelines. It's already, like, some people think that they're trying to streamline the process now instead of like branching off. Apparently this is like all the timelines coming together, closing off, and then Breath of the Wild happens regardless.
Oh no shit.
And then so like the second one, they said it's going to be darker than Majora's Mask. And I was like, oh shit, because Majora's Mask is dark as fuck. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. I want to go back and play Breath of the Wild again. I've completely turned over every rock in that game, and I still want to play it.
Man, I tried. I played it for a few hours, and I couldn't get into it.
Fucking love it, dudes.
I've tried, man.
What you need to do is you need to go in and beat Ganondorf or Calamity Ganon in under 10 minutes.
Oh, speedrun it?
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm all about them speedruns. Bearded and I, oh man. Did you know that Bearded and I were speedrunning Super Mario 64 for a while?
That's fun.
What, really? How close did you get to World?
Yeah. You know, okay, I say this. Okay, let me tell you. I say this, but a lot of people can't do this, and I feel proud of it. So Bearded is times ahead of me. I don't know if he knows his. I have a stream highlight of my time, but I've recently beat it since then. But I think mine was like 22 minutes.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And Bearded's was like 20, 21, or 19 or some shit like that. He was fast as fuck. I definitely know Bearded beat me. But...
Gotta get back on that horse, boy.
Oh, I'm good. No, we were doing like a beginner's route, like beginner to like moderate kind of deal. And we looked at like the hard and expert, basically like to get to world record. And there was so much shit. I was like, I'm not going to spend my life doing this. Yeah. Once you can beat the game consistently over and over in like 22 minutes, it's like, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm good. Yeah. But yeah. Now I think about it, it's like, yeah, I tell my family, like, by the way, I can beat Super Mario 64 in 20 minutes. They're just like, wait, what? Yeah, no big deal. It's fine. You know.
So you said the new Legend of Zelda is supposed to be darker than Majora's Mask?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of dark, how about Luigi's Mansion 3?
Oh, spooky.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I saw that. I really didn't play any of them. I played the first one for like 10 minutes. I was just young at the time. It's just like, yeah, I've never really been a big fan of Mario or Luigi. I've been such a big fan of Legend of Zelda. You know, I'm gonna walk around in a fucking house playing Ghostbusters as Luigi. I think that was so cool at the time.
You know, I didn't play it when it first came out, but I think it was maybe 2 years ago. I finally did, and actually really enjoyed it. Wasn't too bad. It was one of those relaxing kind of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Straight storyline, you know what I mean. You can't wander off or nothing like that, but it was good.
It's just fun. I played the second
Yeah.
one on 3DS and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was one of those things you just pop in, play for 20 minutes while you're on break, 15 minutes, and pop out. I mean,
Dude, there's fucking 8-player co-op.
Oh gosh.
My
And all
God.
you hear is oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So you'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
green, red, yellow, orange, purple, chartreuse, periwinkle, Luigi's running around.
Well, there's 4 of the regular Luigis, and then there's 4 of the goo Luigis of the same colors. Because you can become like the goo. You've seen the trailer, I'm guessing. Otherwise, it's gonna be really strange.
Part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
So yeah, in this one, I guess you can make a goo Luigi who can like solve puzzles regular Luigi can't. And so when you play 8-player co-op, it's just a fucking shit show of fucking Luigis everywhere. Shit cracks me up. But yeah, that looks good.
So what were y'all expecting from E3 that just didn't quite happen?
Dino Crisis.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Didn't
I
they
was. Oh, go ahead, Beer. Sorry.
So didn't they announce some other kind of Elder Scrolls?
Elden Ring. It's a fucking basically Dark Souls is what they said. It's closer to Dark Souls than it is Sekiro and stuff like that.
It's like a Dark Souls, but it's the lore and the world is being written by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
So he's taking a break from writing the fucking books for a Song of Ice and Fire.
Hey, he's gonna
Asshole.
get them done eventually. In 5 years.
I think it looks good. That's the game that I'm now probably never.
Well,
gonna
I mean,
play,
there was
but
nothing. They didn't show anything.
I mean, if it is Dark Soulsy, it's probably not. The
Yeah,
game for
you're
me.
gonna like it. Yeah,
But
they said it's more
it
Dark
looks-
Souls than Sekiro and Bloodborne. So it's supposed to be more Dark
good.
Soulsy.
I love that style of like, what do you call that?
Yeah, the
Medieval?
lore looks cool. Yeah,
Fantasy,
yeah.
medieval.
Yeah.
Anyway.
With like paladins, like it looked like
Yeah.
just got a cool look. Yeah. I don't like those types of games, but it's crazy. It's cool to see R.R. Martin getting involved.
Okay, so I actually take back my my favorite was the Blair Witch. My favorite release
Why
at
50 tabs
E3,
open?
my favorite Cyberpunk 2077.
There you go.
With
There we go.
Keanu-
Yeah.
There we
Oh
go.
my
God, it looks
fucking
amazing.
God.
Oh, and I
So
just
All right,
happy.
I'll take the back
I
seat on
read-
this one. Go ahead.
I read today. I told them a little bit before because I didn't know if it was going to be brought up, but Keanu has the second most lines in the entire thing, so he's not even like a side character. He's kind of one
I'm
of the most prominent
so
guys.
happy.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm so
awesome.
happy.
It looks
You're
so freaking
breathtaking.
good. Yeah, no, you're breathtaking. That's unreal. That was such a cool. They did an amazing job.
Now I know that CD Projekt Red is getting some flack about various policies and things like that, and I don't really want to get into that, but CD Projekt Red just in and of themselves, with runninggog.com releasing the Witcher games like without DRM, all of this different stuff that they've done, like I really like what they're doing.
Yes,
just
I
as a
love
company.
what they're doing. Yeah,
Like I know that there's shit in the background that I haven't done any research on, so I'm not.
That's
gonna
in
talk about it
everything,
right
though.
now. But dude, Cyberpunk 27. Do you know how long it's been since I've played a AAA Cyberpunk game? I don't think I ever have, except for like Deus Ex: Human Revolution, and that was a glitchy motherfucker.
yes, it was.
Oh my God, I'm so
Yes, it was
excited.
wild. But this one's
Is-
going to be with Cyberpunk, just the way they made The Witcher, and now it's been a few years, and now they've got better technology. Man, this Cyberpunk game's going to be so unreal. And they said, what? I think there's no loading screens in the entire game. In Cyberpunk, it's supposed to be loading screen free or something like that,
That would be
which
impressive.
is crazy.
What were you gonna say, Brandon?
I have a stupid question. I haven't played Deus Ex or Cyberpunk anything. Are those in the same universe? Is that why you said that?
No. What?
No,
Okay,
they're
so
just-
what Cyberpunk is you've got a couple of different versions of Cyberpunk, but it originally started like the first major piece of Cyberpunk media was Neuromancer by William Gibson. Now, there were short stories and some other novels before that kind of engaged in the same themes, but Neuromancer by Gibson is credited as being the first cyberpunk. Be careful if you read it, it has not aged well. But the idea is cyberpunk is usually set in a near future that examines the connection between humanity and technology, addiction, AI, VI, consciousness upload. If you've ever seen Psychopaths, that's cyberpunk-esque. It's got cyberpunk elements. Deus Ex Human Revolution or the Deus Ex games, I am 50, 70, 80, 90% mechanical, but I'm still a person, or am I? Things like that.
Oh, I guess so. You got some Detroit Become Human kind of going on here.
Right.
Yeah,
Detroit
Deus
Become
Ex
Human is very much
before that. It's crazy.
cyberpunk.
Just
Now-
think robots and neon lights.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
seen,
Well, that's noir.
I've
That's
seen,
cyberpunk noir.
What was the most recent Deus Ex game? I think Cody talked about it.
Mankind Divided.
Mankind, yeah.
I remember seeing. I think you played it, Gelf, and Cody was talking about it at one point, and I remember.
Yeah, I was playing it while
You
talking to
goddamn
I've
60%er.
never played
Hey, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
It's
you.
wild.
I'm only 40%. Go fuck yourself. I don't know.
Now that said, Altered Carbon with the whole like
So
trench
good.
coat pulled up and walking through the rain with the neon lights flashing off that's cyberpunk noir.
Yeah,
Blade Runner
that was good.
2049 is cyberpunk noir. They're both still cyberpunk,
Yeah.
but they're very specifically that. And then I walk through the rain, and then
Is
that
that the
broad
cop
with
game,
50%.
but just in the future? What's that? L.A. Noir.
Yeah, L.A.
LA
Noir.
Noir, yeah. It's like that, but with neon, you know.
There you go.
There's actually a really good indie game that I really like that's very, very heavy cyberpunk noir. It's called Void and Meddler. I need to go back and revisit it because I think there's a couple new chapters out. But I mean, if you're looking for something that's quintessential cyberpunk noir, that's a good one. One of the games that I lost my shit over was Techno Babylon. That's cyberpunk meets transhumanism, which is phenomenal. It's an excellent point and click adventure game. Again, an indie title. But Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first cyberpunk-centric AAA title to come out since Deus Ex.
Fancy.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
that's a type of
It's
genre or
big.
game that it's cool, just not my thing. When shit starts getting too sci-fi, I'm just like, eh.
Man, the big reason it draws me is the company making it. Because I played The Witchers and loved Witcher 3. It was so good. And their DLCs were insane. So that type of company making this style of RPG, which I love those open world RPGs anyway, but this style is going to be so good. They're going to do such a good job.
I
Hopefully.
hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Gotta
You
be
have to wait
hopeful.
until it comes out.
Yeah. But they haven't disappointed yet. They're one of the good ones, I think. I don't think they
Yeah.
promise their people too much, but
We'll see. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see. You know, in the world of Twitter, things could change instantly.
unfortunately that does dictate a lot of things.
What do you think about Mr. Todd Howard talking about 76?
I
Did you
didn't
catch that?
listen to it,
Oh,
no.
Fallout 76, yeah.
It's just like,
Well, they made a battle royale?
Yeah, apparently.
Why?
Yeah, apparently they're
Why?
adding a battle royale. And...
No, it's out. They're playing it.
Oh, are they doing it now? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my
I've seen
bad.
people play it. I've seen Grims
Uh-oh.
and them play it. Like, it's just
I think it's like,
like-
52 people.
it doesn't make sense in that style of game. For me, I love that game franchise, but god damn,
What cracks
they
me up
went.
because basically it comes out and he's like, yeah, mind you, this is not a quote by quote. He just was like, hey, we fucked up. Here, let's make it better. Introducing Battle Royale.
Oh no, this is not the mistakes
like-
we wanted fixed.
Yay, he's gonna fix it. What the fuck?
Now they are adding NPCs into the game now. That was kind of a more subtle end of the reveal. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I
Apparently-
I don't think
that
don't
changes
care
the
too much
game at
about
all.
Fallout. I'm
Yeah.
not
Well,
the Fallout guy.
Apparently they are adding more NPCs to the game, so it's a little bit more of a fleshed out world instead of people just shoving nukes up each other's asses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather
I feel like
have
that should have been
a
a thing already.
co-op survival style Fallout over a
Yeah.
online playing with
What I
however many
want
people fit in the
is
server.
for them to take like Ark and Fallout New
Yes.
Vegas and
Oh.
shove them together and just
New
take
Vegas
my
was so
money.
good.
I actually, you know what's surprising is I didn't spend as much time in Fallout New Vegas as I did in 3, but I enjoyed it more. There was
Yeah.
more to Fallout New Vegas.
That's how I
'cause-
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. And
I
then
loved 3, and then New Vegas. It was just.
the thing
It was
is
so
like
good.
Bethesda, man, like I don't trust Bethesda anymore. Does that make sense?
Uh-oh.
Well, no, they come
happening?
out with Fallout 76. How can you trust them?
That was honestly,
Yep.
as sad as it sounds, that was a big thing of it. Is like just, ugh, I
It
don't.
was so
like
bad.
It's worrying me on Elder Scrolls 6. It really
I
is.
don't think so. I don't think they'll fuck with the Elder Scrolls
No.
series. I don't think
say
they
that
can.
as a joke. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it'll be fine. But I swear to God, if
Especially
I
after
see,
76, even if it comes out a year after they said or after they're thinking, because they were doing something towards 76 style, and then they got such a bad reaction. Now they're like, okay, no one knows anything. Let's just reverse everything. Let's go. We got to make this a good one.
Type it
Get
out
our
in your
stock
notes
back.
app. Delete, 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 delete.
Yeah, delete,
Scratch
delete.
that.
All right, guys. Sorry for all that overtime. Here's more.
Hey, so you know that hard drive over there? Yeah, just toss
Yeah,
that right into
just-
that pile of magnets over there. Just get.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be on the other side of the spectrum. How would you feel if you made a game and you're like, man, this is cool. We put our heart and soul into this shit, and you ship it out, and it just gets shit on, and you just feel like fuck, man, like, god damn
Oh,
it.
it would break my heart. Like,
Oh, man.
no doubt about it.
Make me
But
wanna
at the
quit.
same time, I'd be like, okay, what did I fucking do wrong?
Well, yeah, especially when you feel like you've been in the right. You're just like, oh yeah, people will love this, and then it's like the most hated fucking thing about the thing that you made. Oh, I'd feel so
Yeah, that
bad.
would be wild.
Yeah.
You
blows
would,
my mind.
I don't know. Have to listen to people, I guess. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like ask
Can't make
ahead of
something
time or
just for you.
yeah, fill
know?
the
Yeah.
fill the room a little bit before you start slapping battle royale on things.
Hey, we made 20% of this game. Is this looking kind of cool?
It's like, huh? It's like there's something out there called like focus groups or something. Oh,
yeah, I know, right? Like, oh
Dude.
no.
Todd Howard could just go on Twitter, make a poll, and say, "Do you guys like battle royales?" And then the people would be like, that would basically be the yes or no.
Especially their
of
group.
Fallout.
No.
From you, probably not. From somebody else, sure.
We'd like open world RPGs from you. Let's go.
Hey, Bethesda, if you're listening, how about
Oh,
you create an open world RPG that doesn't have any bugs on release day, and then we
Physically
can talk about a
impossible for
battle
them.
royale.
I think the
Th-
bugs
that's
make
the
it really
problem I
fun,
have
like
with-
Skyrim with all the bugs. That
And
shit's
there's
fucking
fun.
real.
There's fun ones in Fallout too.
Here's the thing, though, is that they're so fucking bad. There are some glitches
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
so
They
goddamn
get some
bad.
really bad ones. Yeah.
Bethesda leans on the modding community, depends on the modding
Yeah, yes,
community
they
to
do.
fix their fucking game for them when it comes out. I could be wrong. I could be talking out of my ass. This is just me and my experience, so please don't fucking yell at me in the comments. But I do think that there's a point with
Yeah, fuck
these
'em.
games where they stopped with the QA. You know, it's like it's good enough the modding community will fix it, or it just let it go. I don't
And
know.
maybe like their QA is not as good, so it's almost
No.
less expensive. Well, no, to an extent, to where they can release a game sooner than it normally would be because they know the modding community can fix it. It's
I
cheaper.
think the thing is that
you know?
they just don't give their QA people enough time to actually dig through
Probably
and fix
not.
things.
Especially since the whole thing now is like, all right, we have to have a big game every 2-3 years.
Time crunch.
Big game. And it's always got to happen. And then, or some Call of Duty every
And
year.
the time crunch, yeah, that
Yeah,
too.
it's so these guys are coming up with such new ideas and bold ideas and all this the great graphics and all the details and all this, and then it goes to like, oh, well, you get a few months to test it, and then we're gotta go, or whatever it is. You know, they get way less time. It's got to be. They're setting release dates too soon.
Yeah, let me
Which is
let me
a
get this
big
bug real
problem.
quick. Sorry, you ran out of time. We gotta ship this
Yikes.
motherfucker.
Yeah, this
Sorry, leave
motherfucker's
it.
got to go.
Yeah, but it literally breaks the game. It'll take like 2 seconds to fix. Sorry.
We'll
Package it
have a
up.
day one patch. Start working on it.
Yeah, fucking 20
Should have
gig
got up
patch.
an hour earlier or gone to bed an hour later and fixed it,
Should have been here
2
for
days
16
ago.
hours. What are you doing?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking idiot. God. Oh man. Do you guys know the store Think Geek?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you guys hear what's going on with them? They are merging,
Yes.
or GameStop is buying them basically.
They already
And,
got bought.
That makes sense.
They've
Yeah.
already been bought for years,
oh
but
really?
they're merging their stores together. Yes.
Yeah, and they're completely closing down their store right now. Like I'm checking it out because I was like, maybe I can pick something up, but everything's fucking sold out because it's like half off this and that, and it's
Yep.
basically
On
a company
their
dying
site
before our
online?
eyes. Yeah.
Yes, their site is pretty much empty. I went on yesterday and there was almost
shit.
nothing there. But ThinkGeek
So
got
did it-
bought out by GameStop years ago, just after I stopped working there, and they
Oh.
started featuring ThinkGeek items in the
Yes.
physical stores, and now they've decided to merge it all together. Is that a good idea?
No, that company is straight up dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gone. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
gone.
yeah, that brand, but now they bring these things to in store. It helps GameStop,
That's-
who bought them out. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
The
but
thing is
GameStop's already
it's
been in full
already-
decline. So
The
Yeah, I know, but
GameStop-
this is their
they're-
way of trying to bring it weird things in to get people, you know?
it's
Okay,
not.
the thing is
not-
this stuff has already been in the stores for a while.
Yeah.
It's there, and it's not helping. It's
No.
not. And the fact that this beloved site that they're ripping off the veil and saying, "Hi, it was us all the time," and GameStop, appears underneath the ThinkGeek mask. The fact that this ThinkGeek is a geek mecca. It's a nerd mecca. You go there for
Yes.
your geeky gifts, your nerdy gifts. You
Nerdy,
get everything
yep.
there. And if whether you know or you don't know that GameStop is behind it, that's irrelevant. But now there's literally no veil of separation between the two. And people
So
aren't going to go to fucking GameStop.com for the ThinkGeek shit.
that's
They're
what I
gonna
was
go
about to
ThinkGeek.
ask. Yeah. Well, just if anyone types in ThinkGeek.com, just have it go to your website.
Redirect
it. Yeah, redirect to
First,
GameStop.
First, they've got to fix their fucking site. I'm calling you
Their
out,
site
GameStop.
sucks.
Ugh.
I used to go to GameStop all the time, like 5 to 8 years ago, and then it's pointless to go in there now.
Yeah, I don't. One thing's
Well, when I stopped
the
carrying
digital
fucking Vita
age.
games, I
Yes.
stopped going in too.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's like pop vinyls, and you get the used consoles.
Yeah,
They didn't have
it's-
fucking anything anymore.
See, I don't buy used anything anymore. I'm
going to.
mostly PC
Oh my
game,
God.
but
Oh my God.
I
The
don't
vintage
buy
stock
used
store that
games.
we have. Oh my God, there's so much old shit in there that I want to collect. I just
Well, that's got to be a little different than buying into GameStop.
Yeah. I mean, GameStops have like used GameCubes and shit, and so does this store. But this store is more like, I don't know. It'd be like it's basically GameStop if it were cool, you know.
Yeah, it's not industrialized
Does that make
GameStop.
sense? No offense, Gil.
It's owned by it's one store. It's not 5,000 stores or whatever.
Mhm.
Right. Actually, I'm gonna look that up. I'm actually kind of curious. now.
Corporate owned, where they got to follow a certain path.
Oh, we have 2 of them in Kansas. Oh, they're both in
Oh.
each mall. I didn't know that.
Oh,
I
that
only go
makes
to-
sense.
I only go to one mall, so.
Me too. The other one sucks.
Yep.
I'm actually kind of surprised that anybody goes to malls anymore. I've seen 2 or 3 of them
yeah.
that I used to frequent disappear. In fact, the Mall of
Ours
America,
is
which I
pretty
used to
good,
frequent all the time, they had a period where so many of their storefronts were taken up by like specialty stores and like junk niche kitschy,
Oh, like
side
kiosks
of
and shit.
Well, stores like Eclectic Collections, you can get your jukebox / boom subwoofer for $99.99, something like that. And then
Yeah.
here's your picture of the presidents playing poker, and here's your picture of dogs
Yeah.
surfing, that kind of shit. And what they ended up doing is they ended up pushing a lot of those like kitschy niche stores out. Nietzsche, yes, they pushed the abyss out.
Mm.
And what they ended up doing is they brought back a lot of the big name stores again, the ones that people actually want to fucking go to. And now they're back in, they're growing last I checked. But so many other malls are they're empty. You go in
Dying.
there and there's
A lot
no
of them are
one.
dying.
Yeah. Because nobody goes, it's not a retail experience anymore. It's retail hell. You go into a retail store, like I went into Best Buy a couple of days ago looking
Calling
for
you out, bitch.
a
Sorry,
very
go ahead.
a very specific item. And I knew in my heart of hearts that they wouldn't have it, but I figured I'd check anyway. I went to the webcam section because for this stream tomorrow, I needed a third webcam, and I wanted to upgrade my old C910, which is, it's an older webcam, and it it's creaking a little bit, but it's fine. But I went in and they had in their webcam section, the only webcams they carried were Logitech, and they had 2.
Wow.
Dang.
They had racks for 8 or 9 different ones, but they had 2 different kinds.
Amazon's
there.
got everyone.
It's Amazon, or it's oh my God, let me tell you about Fry's. Do you guys know what Fry's Electronics is?
No.
I think I've heard of it.
Okay, it's like Micro Center.
Oh, there's one up in Hutch. Yes.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're
a
talking
few
about.
years ago, they started doing this like weird outlet selling like pallets of Gatorade and bottled water and off-brand perfume and as seen on TV shit. And it used to be this amazing tech mecca. Like if I was going to build a computer, I would go there first because the people there know what they're talking about. They can make good recommendations. They usually have good deals. And then I can have this motherboard that I want in my hand the same day, or I can get the RAM that I need the same day, or, I want to get a new SSD. I went in there. This is a legit true story. I went in there, couldn't find the audio mixers. I needed to upgrade my audio mixer for tomorrow as well. I only had 2 channels for XLR. I needed 4. So I go in and I go up to one of the guys and I say, "Hey, can you guys tell me where the audio mixers are?" And this guy just kind of stares at me for a second and is like, "Oh, yeah, that's going to be over here." He took me to the fucking kitchen appliances section. Like
an actual
am I
mixer?
gonna hook an XLR up to a goddamn KitchenAid? Like, does this have monitoring?
I'm sorry,
And
does that mixer have 1 or 2 blades on it? Or, man, I don't know. Talk to my manager.
Oh God. And so finally I said, no. I said audio mixers, like multi-channel Yamaha,
If you
Behringer.
have to explain, I just leave.
I know.
No,
I know.
sorry.
And so here's the thing is he took me over to the section where the mixers should have been. Now, what you got to understand is pretty much every single shelf in this store is at least 50% empty. And he takes me over to the music instrument section, which, yeah, that makes sense because this is the kind of thing you hook a guitar up to, control the sound and blah, blah. And he says, "Yeah, we've got this and this, but I think this is what you're looking for." And he points at, I shit you not, a starter DJ set. That's not a mixer. That's a scratch table. I'm leaving.
Oh, no.
That was so bad.
You just be like, I don't know. Again, if I have to explain, if I say audio mixer and they take me to the kitchen set, I'm leaving out that door immediately. Because if their employees are like that, I can only guarantee that their products that they're selling are just as good as quality.
Yeah. But their tech section is still, it was 50% empty, but they still had, they've got Asus, they've got Asus is the only brand I can think of right now, but they've got all the different motherboards, they've got Corsair fans, they've got the RAM, they've got fucking thermal paste and shit. And you could just see these poor dudes over in the component section just going, "Get me out of here, please. I'll even go to Tiger Direct. Just get me out of here." But now
Nice.
it's the Walmart. It's the Walmart of tech at this point. I would rather go to Best Buy than go to... No, it's the dollar store of fucking tech at this point. I would rather go to Best Buy. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly, Bearded. That's exactly it.
I feel
Because you guys don't know. Bearded posted, what is that, Parks and Rec? I don't know the characters' names at all, but I know this clip.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, he was just like, he's at the hardware store. "Hey, can I help you with something?" It's like, "I know more than you."
I know more.
And I can share that same feeling though whenever you go to a local store or something in hopes of finding what you're looking for, and you already know it's not gonna be there, but you're like, maybe, just maybe.
I do this thing where, especially when it comes to like technology and stuff, if it's Best Buy is really good about it, but if it's basically any other place that's not Best Buy, if I'm walking in with technology on my mind, I don't even want to ask anybody. Because,
Yeah,
again,
I am.
I know more than you, probably. I'm not super, arrogant about it, but it's to a point where it's like, if I tell them what I need and they give me a look, I just want to walk away. Because if you don't know what I'm talking about right off the bat, we're not going to figure this out. And you're going to be here all day. I'm going to be here all day. I don't want to be here all day. You know?
I don't know if you guys have experienced this. Maybe it's just, I don't know if it's like just me being a chick or whatever, but a guy walks up to me in
I get hit on all the
Best
time.
Buy.
Happens. Oh, you're a gamer boy? Whoa.
Whoa, you're a unicorn. You exist? No, I've gotten that before too. But I walk into a Best Buy, and this is actually me looking for the webcams. And a guy walks up to me, like, "Hey, can I help you find something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a webcam that'll do 1080 60 frames per second or 1080 30 frames per second." But I need it to be a different model from blah and blah because the Logitech software has a tendency to fuck up if you've got more than one of the same model.
Did
And
he
I
just
could
walk
just
away?
I could just see his face like dropping.
He's
and
like, fuck.
going flat. He's like,
She a smart
well,
lady.
if you want a really good, are you a streamer? I'm like, yeah, I stream on Twitch. Well, what? I can take you over to the camera section. We've got some really good cameras over there that people use. I'm like, no, I don't want a camera. I'm not gonna go through the fucking hell of hooking up a goddamn DSLR. I want one of these. Do you have any more of these in the back? And he's like, no, that's all we've got. I went on the site, and they said that they were in stock, the ones that I was looking for. And I was like, you have
In
them in
store?
the back. In store, in stock. They have them
no.
there. And I just kind of looked at the site, looked at him. He's like, "Are you sure they're not in the back?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, this is the only stock we've got." And I'm like, "You're lying." Anyway, I'm leaving.
I've worked in retail. That's fuck yeah. Just walk in the back and just stand there. Yeah, it's all right. We don't have any.
It was so hard to find shit. We were just like,
Yeah,
I do that too, but 9 times out of 10, as soon as I walk back there to be an asshole about it, I'll find whatever book they're looking for. And I'm like, oh
yeah,
shit.
I usually find most of the time, but yeah, there's times where like if the guy or a lady is like an asshole, I'm just like, I'm not gonna find it. Sorry. Yeah, we don't have any more.
yikes, we're out.
Yeah, one thing I don't like, especially when you're looking again for like technology and stuff, and they go, yeah, we have some really good blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's like a red flag for me, because that just shows that they kind of bunched all of that product together. It's like, yeah, we have all sorts of blah blah, and like, no,
not
tell me which one's the best
brands.
one. I kind of want to like go in and quiz people, be like, all right, which one's the best one for blah blah blah, and then like, if they just fucking give up, it's like, yeah,
the absolute worst is when they pick up the box and they start reading it.
Oh yeah, you're just like, again, I know
I
more
can
than
do
you.
this, sir.
Yeah.
If you don't know off the top of your head, that's fine. Admit it. Like, if we're coming in, like, if I don't know anything, you don't know anything, let's go on this journey of discovery together. But don't bullshit me by saying, oh, yeah, this is actually a really good one. Yeah, it captures it. No, that one doesn't. Look. Okay, this one captures it.
It captures it 10. 720.
Man, okay.
Whew.
I had something similar to that happen, not with electronics, but I went to like Ace Hardware looking for just this, like an adhesive or super glue type thing to bond two materials together. And I was talking to this guy, and I didn't know how young he was, but he was talking, and he was like, I asked him, and he was like, yeah, I'm new here. I'm 19. I don't know. I'll ask someone else. And I was like, oh, okay.
For that,
Yeah,
though.
at least he called for someone. Like, it was way better, and he went and got someone. That dude helped me immediately. Like, that's so much better than having someone take you over there and read stuff with you. Like, just walk away at this point.
Like, I'll fucking do that at my job. Like, somebody walks up to me, he's like, hey, I'm looking for a romance novel. And I'll say, well, I know a couple of series, but if, let me get this person over here because they know way more about this than I do.
Let me take you to this
And then
bookshelf. We've got so many good selections for you.
Right.
Oh, man.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Retail, it's tough.
I don't want to go back ever. After being in the post office for... Oh, also, so it's Father's Day. And speaking of Postal Service, it has been official today, 1 year working at Postal Service.
Today, wow. Congratulations.
Yay,
Isn't that
happy
cool?
anniversary.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right, now get regular, brah.
Yeah, just a few more months. I'm going to get my own route finally. Anyway, sorry.
Cool.
Didn't mean to branch off. I just forgot about that. The past couple podcasts have been pretty eventful. We had birthdays and Father's Day and
Yeah, all sorts of things going on.
Personal-
4th of July
personal goals.
soon.
oh yeah, 4th of oh fuck,
yeah.
is that
Couple
on?
weeks.
Oh, it's on
No.
Thursday.
It's on the
never
4th.
mind.
It's on the 4th of July, Brandon.
No, it's on Thursday. I was looking for if it's on Sunday. All right.
It's not on the 4th of July. It's on a Thursday. Wait.
Whoa.
God damn it! Everyone just assumed that I'm a big fucking idiot.
No. Yeah, it's on a Thursday. It's gonna be nice.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
good.
Do you
'cause I
get that
work
day
on
off?
Thursdays.
Fuck no.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know how that works.
I can't remember. I can't remember if we got it off
with
last
you
year. or not.
government employees.
I need to celebrate my American heritage. Blow shit up.
No.
Yo.
Rain, snow, sleet, or wait, hold on.
gonna
No
shoot fireworks out of my
national
LOV at
holidays
kids.
will stop them from delivering the fucking mail.
Well,
Red-
yeah, I just remember back when they didn't even deliver Sundays. It's so wild.
They don't deliver on Sundays. They never deliver on Sundays.
Only Amazon delivers.
Yeah,
on
mail.
Sundays.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, packages?
yeah, packages. Like, I was used to a time they didn't even deliver packages on Sunday, and you had to wait till Monday.
Okay,
I
I'm
was like,
trading my walker off
wow.
to Cody. There's fresh tennis balls
I-
on the front. Enjoy.
It's okay.
I
Cody.
noticed it. The first time I ever noticed it was when I lived in Indiana. And then they were like, oh, your package is going to be dropped off today around, it was like 10 a.m. when I'll wake up and the package will be out by my door. I'm like, what? And then I started ordering stuff and it was like, oh, be there Sunday. Cause I would order it late in the week or something. So wild. That was the first time, even in Wichita, when I lived here before that, I don't remember that. It was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know when
It's
they
so- it's
started.
so
I,
wild.
I should ask about that because I'm kind of curious. But it's ending soon, so
Yeah.
thank God.
Good. At least get a day off.
Isn't that such a shit fucking sentence? Yeah, thank God it's
Yeah.
ending so I can get a day off. Finally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
9 days in a row and then a day off.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. Now it's Sunday's day off for everyone. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go back.
Wait,
to
did
them
you
to- Go ahead.
Did you say you were working 4th of July, Kelf?
I typically don't work on
Thursday?
Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But if I do, it's time and a half. So if they ask me to come in, I probably will.
shit. Gotta go in for the time and a half.
You know, it's funny because in my history of working, when I was working at the gas station, I would offer to work holidays. You know, the
Yeah.
gas station would close early for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. But since I was so close to home, like I walked home. I didn't even drive. I walked home. So I would actually offer to work holidays so everybody else could go home, do their traveling, get to their great grand aunt's house or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then you're right there. So it's,
Yeah, and I'll just
Wait.
okay. I get off work at 6. I shut the store down. Leave the pumps on auto pay or whatever, so you can just do it at the pump. And then I would walk home, be there in time for dinner. I didn't have to do any of the setup. I didn't have to do any of the prep. I'm not allowed in the
oh, that's
kitchen anyway.
perfect.
But I mean, it worked out really well, and I'd get time and a half. So
Oh,
I mean, it's also an excuse to not have to go to my fucking aunt's. Hi, aunt, if you're listening.
Sorry.
Not that aunt. If you're surprised by what I just said, you're not that aunt.
You know which aunt you are.
You know who you are. You piece of shit.
Yeah, my
Um,
brother throws a big thing every year. It's pretty fun.
I don't do anything. I've always see. This is a shitty thing.
I know.
and-
I invited you. You're
hold
going
on.
this year.
No, hold on. So, and this is okay. So before the post office, I worked 8 years in retail, on and off different locations, this and that. When you are at a job that requires you to work every holiday forever, and then all of a sudden
yeah.
you get a job that like gives you the day off or like gives you the option
a
to like go
whole
home.
You don't know what to
fucking
do
world.
on them.
I've never made any plans for these because I've always been working, and now I'm like, what do I do with myself? Like, oh, I get to go hang out with people? Wait, what? Like,
I have
you were
a
like-
wife now? Hold
it's like,
on.
cool, like yeah, like, and then man, once I make regular, oh fuck yeah, I got so many days off. I don't know
Oh
what to do
shit,
with
dude!
myself.
You could not do your job and take all the days off.
Speaking of which, yeah, that guy called me
Yeah.
Saturday, and it was fun. Yeah, we have a lot of calls
That guy
on
did?
Saturdays. Oh yeah, you know the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Oh, some guy met me at a CBU, and he's like, oh, the regular call in. I was like, yeah, sorry about that. And mind you, I haven't been on this route in like maybe a week.
Yeah.
To put it in context for Gelf and Bearded, there's this one carrier that we
Yes.
have. He calls in probably 2 to 3 times every week over the course of the
Jesus.
year that I've been there, and they
Yeah,
already
it's
get 2 days off a week.
Wild.
What? How does he still have a job?
He's
union.
protected from FMLA, even though he clearly, and I get it, maybe people have underlying health issues, but he clearly does not. And there are a lot of people that do that.
Yes.
And basically,
a lot of
union
people
is
don't.
super protective of people. Anyway, so I'm standing at the CBU cluster box outside. People, you go get your mail with your key or whatever. This guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, is the regular called out again?" I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, trying to do the best I can." And he's like, "Man, that guy should be fired." Or he needs to get his ass kicked. And I was like, oh my god.
He went full ass kicking.
I was like, holy shit, dude. He was like, you tell them that we're fucking pissed off, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he's always fucking up my mail. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. I know. I was like, and normally I don't curse in front of people, but this guy was really relaxed and he was being real with me. And I was like,
and
man,
that other guy's shit.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, man, I was just sorry. He just doesn't give a shit. I'm sorry. We other carriers are trying to fill the shoes, and he's like, nah, man, not a big deal, this and that. And he told I guess he was like, man, I'm already late for work today. I've been waiting on my check, and with him calling in, it puts us behind, so I'm there late, and he knows it's not my fault, but I gave him his check, and he was, but it just cracked me up that it's gotten to a point where customers on the route they're just like, yeah, dude, that guy needs his ass whooped. Set that man straight. Fuck yeah, I did. I said as a joke,
good.
not like a hey boss.
Yeah. But they're like, listen to what this guy said.
And she was like, yeah, they definitely don't like him on that route. But again, there's nothing that they can do.
They can't do anything about it.
They can't rip him from his route unless he does something really bad. So, post office is really weird. It's very everyone does something. Everyone does everything
government
wrong, but
and
nobody
union,
can
so
be disciplined.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Nope.
Yikes.
Wild,
we diverted
system.
off real hard. So this is kind of a surprise. I just saw this today, actually. Again, I'm gonna start veering back into video games.
Go.
Chivalry 2 was announced.
They're gonna make a second one?
Yeah, it's coming to the Epic Games Store in 2020.
Of fucking course it is.
Yeah, it's happening.
Capitalism at its finest.
The developers have doubled up the player count up to 64 players. So it's gonna be 64 players in a fucking Battlefield.
I hope it's because did you see the Mordhau game or whatever?
I have no idea. What is that?
Yeah,
It's basically the same game, but it's better than First Chivalry. Like
that game was
looks
rough.
better and it plays
was
really
fun,
good.
but it was
Like
rough.
it seems like this one's plays better. So I'm hoping if they do a the second one plays really good. Because if it can beat Mordhau like graphically, like it'll be really fun.
Speaking of
Chivalry was so tough. It was such a
it was fun, but man, that game was really rough.
It was fun. It was so tough.
But speaking of like medieval, what happened to that game For Honor? That game fell off the fucking earth.
I think it's still there. Isn't it?
It had a more of a cult following. Like it didn't get as big as they thought, and then they paid streamers, of course, to promote it, and it got kind of big again. Then I think they went free to play.
I got it.
Maybe
on
I don't know if they
PlayStation
went free to
now.
play. I don't want to lie about that, but I think if not, then they made it super cheap or something to where they were trying to get more people involved into it, and then make it a more online. It had a good idea. I tried it. It just wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
I guess the starter edition that was $15 is now free.
Yeah. Okay. And you don't get the extra characters or whatever skins it is,
Yeah.
but you get the basic characters and all that.
Saying something,
Yeah.
Dave?
I was just saying. I know they had it. I think it was maybe 2 months ago. They gave it away free on the PlayStation. Now.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, on the PS Plus.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. The Plus.
The online thing, yeah, like the Xbox Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PS Plus.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just picked up Spider-Man for $20 on the sale
Such a
that's
good
going
game.
on.
I can pick
Such
them
a
up for
good
free.
game. Oh wow, whoa, skills. No, but that game is so good. I didn't fully beat it, but I had so much fun just freaking being Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm getting that out of it. Just moving
Fun
around.
little game. Yeah, that's really well done.
Does it remind you of the Spider-Man on PlayStation 2?
It's way better.
Yes.
No,
Well,
it does.
clearly
certain
it's
flying
better.
extents, yes,
But like, no, I'm saying, does it play on the nostalgia strings just a little bit, swinging around?
Yes. Yeah, just going wherever you want. Open
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
That's cool.
And it looks like similar city. Like you're going through the city. It's pretty cool.
That's
Flying
neat.
through the buildings. It's
Not-
pretty cool.
Not
They did a really good.
I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man, but that game looks really good.
That game was very good.
I've
That's
heard
one of
enough
the
good things about it that it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like that kind of game, I've been told I need to play it, even though I don't do it usually.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
just
will
fun.
say though, I played Bloodborne, and the camera in Bloodborne made me sick. I was only able to play it for 3 hours. I didn't get very far in it.
Yeah.
It was a viewer request, and I feel really bad because I did end up having to drop it a little bit.
Oh hey, you
But
can't play
I
it.
got
Yeah.
I got fucking motion sick from it.
Yeah,
which is
you
unreal.
can't. Yeah, Jesus.
I can't even imagine what it would be like to try to play the Spider-Man game.
I
'cause I'd
think
just be
this.
like, "Foomp, foomp,
I don't know how
foomp."
the Bloodborne one works, but the Spider-Man one seems really stable when you're flying through buildings. Like it's. I don't
Literally
know
through
how
buildings.
I don't. That's what I don't know how that motion blur will mess with you, but
Flying through the windows. Sorry.
in between buildings. And so when you're flying, it seems more. It doesn't seem like distracting. Like you're focusing on where you're going next more
Mhm.
than all the stuff on the outside. I think.
Well, I guess my question
don't
is
know.
when you're turning to try to like grab onto a building or whatever that's kind of
Yeah.
out of sight, does the camera like whip around, or does it stay behind the character?
I
Man,
want to say it whips.
only I
that's-
think when you use there's a certain button you click and it like quick shoots you to a spot.
Well, if it whips, then I shall say nay nay.
I think that's the only thing, and that's only if the only thing you can target is behind you, which doesn't happen a lot, but it'd be a fun game to try out if you can get it real cheap or play for free or something.
Did you guys hear about the Division movie that's coming out or being worked on?
What?
I think the movie's gonna be better than the game.
The Division movie is headed to Netflix with
Yeah.
Jessica, is their name Chastain, and Jake
Yes.
Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
What?
love
Oh my
him.
God, I want
Love Jake Gyllenhaal.
I want it right now.
Post it for you.
No way.
But
Yeah,
dude-
I think it'll play as a better movie than it will a game. I think that whole like apocalypse style
Oh,
future in a city though you're trying to repair it and protect it. I think that's going to plays well into a movie. That plays so good into a movie.
apparently it was announced in 2016, so we're
Oh,
a
well.
few years too late on that.
Whoops.
Oh, yikes.
But this article
Didn't
that
play
I
the
pulled,
game.
this article that I pulled was posted June 10th. So
Yeah, this is a fairly new one.
yeah.
I saw it on there. Yeah, that'll be really cool.
It's
I think
not
that
even
plays
in
so good as a
production,
movie.
though.
So wait, why would they announce it in 2016 and then
Because they announced that it was going to be an idea, probably, and then it blew up because it was a video game idea.
Well, Jake
And then
Gyllenhaal, he's playing a bad guy right now, isn't he? He's Spider-Man. I don't know the
Oh.
villain's name.
Mysterio.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, like he's a bad guy, but it seems in the credits he's not. Like in the trailers, he's kind of working together to stop someone.
Anti-hero.
Yeah, but I thought he was always a bad guy. I am sure he'll turn on him.
I don't
But-
know Spider-Man lore very well.
I know some. I thought he was always a bad guy.
I think I
I
know
missed
just
it.
enough to get myself into trouble when it comes to Spider-Man.
I missed the '90s cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
I like that
What,
one.
did you guys see?
Spider.
Paul Rudd said that fans need a campaign for a third Ant-Man to happen. Like they don't even know if a third Ant-Man's gonna happen.
Oh,
Well, they
really?
both did pretty well.
You know, I
Have you seen them?
Jeez, let me. Okay, so
Oh,
I've seen-
jeez, guys.
oh jeez, I've seen Endgame, right? I've seen all that. The movies that I haven't seen in Marvel Universe so far are
Ant-Man, all of
Black
them?
Panther, and both Ant-Man movies,
Oh my God.
and Captain
Okay, that
Marvel.
doesn't
Only
help.
because Captain Marvel's the most recent, and I just kind of forgot.
Yes,
to
I
watch
haven't seen
one.
that either. It came out too soon before I couldn't quite get to it before
I
I
think,
could.
yeah, I think that's kind of what it was. It was it was
Yeah.
like, hey, Captain Marvel, and
That's what
Endgame.
threw
It's
me
like,
off.
oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to go watch
I've
this. I want to go watch
seen-
Endgame. You know.
Yeah.
I've seen all of them, and I will honestly say that if you go back and watch those, and then watch Endgame again, you're gonna catch a lot of stuff.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Oh,
Now
stuff.
I know that you
It-
enjoyed Endgame
Yeah,
from
a
what you've
lot of
seen,
stuff.
but you're gonna get more out of it if you go back and watch the other ones.
especially
They're
the
gonna
thing
make
with
a
his
hell of a lot
daughter.
more
Like,
sense.
man,
Now,
yeah,
wait,
like-
hold on. Has Bearded seen it yet?
Seen what?
Endgame?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Bearded, when you left,
Let's cut that off. Let's let.
I'm done.
At this point, I should have. So that's on me. So I mean,
Yeah,
we're
you
good.
should have, but it's
it's
fine.
open.
You have a
You
lot
should've,
of
but it's
kids.
yeah, don't they want to go see
Well-
Endgame? That's a children movie.
It's
Perfect.
$75 to go see Endgame with his kid.
Oh my god.
Jesus, dude, that's just the movie tickets, you know. Popcorn, that's it.
Everyone's gotta get a drink. Everyone's gotta get a small popcorn.
You gotta save up a small fortune, dude.
I didn't think about that. God dang.
Especially because some of them are like decently aged to go see it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
See, what you need is you need to get into the memberships that the different theaters offer.
Yeah,
So you
they
can
have
get
some
free
pretty good
tickets
ones.
and you can
Yep.
get points. I go to Regal down here enough that every
Yes.
time I go in, I get a free popcorn and a free soda. Like
Well,
that's
Regal bought out all of our shit up here. I was pretty
Yep.
bummed, but
I
because
like
Warren,
Regal.
okay.
we
They're
were,
pretty good.
yeah, Regal. I think they did a great job. Their website sucks, but the Warren website was better, and they freaking swapped back to freaking Regal, and it's not near as good. But they run it pretty well. It's really nice.
They do a better job. Regal does a better job with their app than their website. So if
Oh,
you've
okay.
got if you can get the app on your phone, it's
Yeah.
gonna be way easier.
We've been
way
thinking of
better,
getting
yeah.
the Regal like pass thing because it's like we go a decent
Oh.
amount of times. It makes sense to go get it.
We use the
haven't
app,
done
and
that,
dude, we
but-
get so much free shit with it. It's unreal.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
You get some cool stuff. It's gonna be fun.
So I saw this game. It's called Pistol Whip.
I'm
basically-
looking at it.
Beat Saber with guns, essentially. I
Oh
mean, it's
my
not,
God.
No.
It's not Beat Saber as in like standing still, but like it's more like a but it's with guns and shit. It looks really cool. I was just looking
Oh.
at that. I don't have a VR yet. Oh yeah, speaking of motion sickness from earlier, my daughter and I went to the park today, and I was pushing her on a swing, and she's like, "Dad, why don't you swing with me?" And I was like, "Okay, cool. I've done it a million times before, at the, at my age that I'm at." I got on. I made maybe 3 or 4 back and forths, and I was like, "Oh my god, I was gonna throw
That
up."
messed you up, bro.
I was on that swing for
That
10
sucks.
seconds, and I had
No.
an immediate headache, and I felt like I was
We're
gonna
getting
throw up.
old.
I was like, "What the? I've never felt that big of like
Now-
a set of motion
Today's
before."
the day your childhood died, man. You can't swing anymore.
Yeah, that's
Coach,
I had to explain to
wait,
my
give
daughter.
the-
What?
Give the walker to Brandon. Give the walker to Brandon. Replace the
Brandon,
tennis
here
balls,
it is,
hand
man.
over.
There's a third tennis ball on there.
I'll rock that shit. Fuck out of my way,
That's
youngins.
wild, dude. The only time I ever get any type of that is like on a merry-go-round or like anything that spins real fast. But
That makes sense though. You're getting
yeah.
whipped around. Your center of gravity is getting all
yeah, but
fucked
that's
up.
about it. Like man, going on. No, that sucks.
The secret to
You can
getting
never do
rid
VR.
of well, here's the thing: is the secret
It's
to
getting there,
getting
yeah.
rid of your motion sickness in a situation like that, like swinging or like physical action motion sickness, is find a point that doesn't move relative to you,
Yeah.
or find a position that's far enough away so when you're on a swing, look at like a tree
You can
across
see that
the
same
way.
spot, yeah.
You know
Or
what
if
I
you're on a
think?
roller coaster, look at your
Yep.
bar or whatever.
I'm a
That'll help.
doctor, and this is what I think. Okay.
I disagree.
So
Well, WebMD says.
as a child, you're always like moving around, jumping and flipping and this and that. And as you get older, obviously you develop motion sickness because you're, when I go to work and
You're not
deliver
doing
mail,
it as much,
I am
yeah.
stationary, level with the ground all day
Walking,
long
yep.
for years and years. And you're so used to it. And then the second
Well,
you get
1
on a
year.
swing or like a trampoline, your body just like, this is not okay. I think we're dying. I think you need to stop.
No, you lost your childhood, Brendan. That is the last step.
No, I'm a doctor.
It's
I got certified.
gone.
I got certified the other day. It's fine.
Yeah, you're a
God.
certified adult now. There you go.
I went to the University of
Gold ticket.
What are you saying, Gilf?
I just said I went to the University of Phoenix.
Ding.
You're a
Um,
doctor.
I am a doctor.
And a pastor. I got ordained at the same time.
You can.
I have a friend of mine who actually went out, got ordained online so he could perform the marriage ceremony for his friends. And I was
Isn't that
like,
what-
"Yeah, I'm ordained. I'm ordained."
Isn't that what
doesn't count.
Demi's and Mike's buddy did?
Yeah, he used to do it regularly, and then like he dropped his license for a while because he had no use
Oh.
for it, and then he did it specifically for them to
Oh, that's cool. That's what I thought.
marry them. That was pretty cool. There's this other
Pretty
game
neat.
that looked really cool, indie game. I want to see who it's by first.
Marvel Avengers.
Devolver Digital.
Oh, Devolver Digital is awesome. I've met. Okay, so when I was working
You
at
know
the
them?
game
Can
store
you
here
call
in
them?
Austin,
Can you get him on the podcast?
I actually
shout out.
I met the kid.
Get
I
Cooper
met
while
the
you're at it.
owner's kid, and it was awesome because he was such a sweetheart, and we actually sat down
Did you get
and
his
talked
autograph?
about games for a bit. I got a signature on a receipt. Does that count?
Oh my god, you actually got the child's autograph?
Yeah, I was a kid.
Wait,
It
there's
was
a
on a receipt.
child. What are you
That was it.
talking about?
His son's like a kid, a younger kid. Well, I'm
Oh.
33. Everybody's a younger kid. What the fuck am I talking
That is
about? I don't know how
true.
old he is.
I'm doing that now too. I'm like younger kid, but the kid's like 19, 20. I'm like, oh.
You know, I told myself that when I got older, I was going to keep up with music, music especially. Games, I'm
Almost
on the level
impossible.
with
You
games.
can't.
I keep up with games.
You
But with
can't with
music,
everything. No.
I listen to this shit and I'm like, this is fucking terrible. But I'll go into
Mumble rappers?
Walgreens and they'll be playing music from high school.
Yeah.
I'll be like, why
This
the
is,
fuck?
this is
why
also
am I
bad.
hearing- this is terrible too. What the fuck? I gotta go back to the 80s for any good music. That's not entirely true, but anyway.
Anyway, the game I was going to talk about is called is it Carrion? The where they said it was like a reverse thriller essentially. You play as the monster and you have to like go and kill the people in this like space station.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah, that looks like it could be fun. Well, I mean, I don't know. Isn't that basically the take? Now that I think about it, isn't that the same thing as the Blair Witch and stuff like that? You play the bad person.
In Blair
It's-
Witch,
well,
you have a flashlight.
the
You can play
same
either one,
as-
right?
I don't know about Blair Witch, but
Yeah, you can play
uh,
either, but you get the chance and like whatever that game is. What's that game? Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiffany
Like
plays the
it's like
shit out of
that. You get to play as the bad guy all the time now. Oh, but this is a totally. Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you watch
Cool.
the video, it
Yeah. Oh, I did see this. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a
This
cool
plays
one.
a lot different. Yeah.
I thought
And
that
you have
was-
to. It's like kind of a puzzle game at the same time because you gotta,
figure out how to navigate around.
get to certain spots. Yeah. That looks pretty neat. I did see that. That looked cool.
Let's see what else we haven't touched on.
Marvel's Avengers.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
No, I just read something stupid that makes me not want to play it anymore. But
Go ahead.
the whole campaign is only single player. So you can't play with friends.
That
That's
seems like
bullshit.
What's the point in the game?
that seems like a multiplayer
Oh.
game, right?
No,
Well, yeah,
no,
if
it
it's
has a
anything like
camp.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, to an extent, but it's
I
a
don't know
single player
anything.
campaign through the whole thing too.
I don't
And
know
you
anything
should
about
be
it.
able to play like a co-op campaign.
That seems like an oversight that they wouldn't put that in, especially since
Yeah.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Well,
was
they
such a
announced
really
it. They like
fucking
gave
good
a
game.
quote out saying, "Nope, it's the entire story campaign is single player only, has no multiplayer option." God, I thought it was going to be good. It looked so good.
I don't think that's
Of
that's
course
a game.
not. You don't like that. You don't like
That's
that.
a game where as soon as I saw it was announced, I was just like, yeah, I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burnt out on superheroes. I'll just leave them in the movies.
Yeah, so you're burnt out watching movies because there's been no video games with superheroes that you played.
Spider-Man.
That's how burnt
didn't
out
play
I am.
it.
I just now think about it. That's how. No, the last Spider-Man was fucking
I'm talking about the
PS2. You know, now I think about
Uh.
it, I really don't think I've played any superhero ones besides like fighting
Yeah,
games that have
exactly.
superheroes in them. But maybe
I played the two Marvel Ultimate Alliances with my friend
Yeah.
Ella, who's my best friend in the entire world,
ah, here
because
we
her
go
husband
again.
was on
That's my
deployment, and she only had an Xbox 360. So I actually bought an Xbox 360
To
so
play
I
it
could
with
play
her.
these games with her. And as soon as we were done, I fucking sold that shithead back.
Oh God, throwing shade at Xbox.
Wouldn't go that far. I think it's because I see so many superheroes in movies that when I see them in video games, it's just like, oh, more superheroes. Great.
Well, that's a different take for me.
Yeah.
They're
Again,
played different.
It's not necessarily
Design
bad.
different.
It's just not something I'm interested in.
Yeah. Link and
Um,
stuff.
Did you guys read up anything on
Zelda.
Project Scarlet?
I know
No.
absolutely nothing.
I didn't I read a few little details. I didn't get real into it.
I don't know. So that's the next gen console, right? Or
For Xbox.
supposedly.
For
Or
Microsoft.
isn't it a streaming service? I thought it
No,
was-
it's both. They're coming out.
Oh.
It's technically a 2 console thing, and you can buy the full console, which lets you do everything, and it's supposed to be like insane, like graphics and all this. But you get the physical console, or you can buy a cheaper version, which is just a kind of like Steam Link, where it's a thing to go to the cloud and play your games from there, rather than having the full console and spending $1,000 or whatever it's going to cost.
Gotcha.
$35,000.
I was hearing about the next PlayStation
Apple.
is going to be modular and upgradable. I thought that was kind of cool.
Ooh, that'd be
Yeah.
freaking
That actually-
insane.
I am so happy that Sony stuck to its guns and did not go to E3 this year. I think that's one reason why I was really not paying attention to E3, because Sony wasn't there, so I didn't give a shit.
Sony always
Luckily,
is a big. They're really good. The last
Yeah.
5 years, they've been insane.
Well, and I mean, I got all the information I needed about Cyberpunk 2077,
yeah, you can
Blair
get
Witch,
that
and
on
blah, blah, blah
everything,
from
yeah.
other people, but I didn't waste my time watching all of the shows. I should have watched the Devolver
Man.
Digital one, but
The one thing I would be excited would be a God of War sequel. Man, that game was insane. I love that lore they went into, the Viking lore. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it does look. That game is beautiful.
Second one's gonna be even better. Whew!
I every time E3 rolls around, I look for the indie teams and Nintendo. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't because everything's
Not
kind of.
me.
I mean, I say this, but it's not.
Like Microsoft.
But it's kind of expected that AAA titles are going to come rolling around, and it's like, oh, again,
And they're
Call of
gonna be
Duty
big.
or,
There's gonna be a
something.
big name there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and not to
Yeah,
shit on
it's
any
true.
games, because again, people are putting their souls into these things, and I feel bad to just dismiss it so easily. But I find a lot more enjoyment and a lot better games in the indie scene, because those people are like, there's like 1 to
I agree,
3 or
there's
4
passion
people
there.
working on it, and it's not like a streamlined process like AAA. And again, this is a fucking hipster move on my end, but
Yeah, kind of, because like you think of the devs of the other games, it may not. It's just a good job for them. They may be not. They're
Goddamn
still putting
corporate
their
business is taking
heart
over,
and
and I
soul.
hate it.
Yeah, it's just it sucks. Yeah.
there was a game I just played on stream.
Go buy
It was
flannel, bro.
called Detective D. It was called Detective D. It was an investigation point and click adventure game. And as I was playing it, it was one of those things where it was like, wasn't super polished, the graphics weren't great, but the story and the mechanics were there.
Yeah.
You could figure it out. I mean, it was so cool because it was so well made. You could tell that this person did a lot of really good work on it. There were just some aspects that it wasn't super strong in. So I thought, oh, maybe they just got a contract design, graphic designer to do the work and, cut some corners, blah, blah. I looked at the credits. One person made the majority of everything. They had one person come in
Wow.
for the music that
yeah.
the original dev didn't have a hand in, but under every single other entry, I think I might be recalling this wrong, this dev's name was under everything else, and sometimes there was a second person's name, but for the most
Man.
part, it was this one person that did almost everything.
That's
or at
what
least
I
most of
loved
everything.
about Stardew.
Yep, I was
One guy,
took him
like,
4
it was just-
years.
4 effing years, and then I didn't even want to play the game, and then Brandon played it. I watched him play it on stream or something, and I was like, man, like, I want to get it, and I freaking one of my top 3 games. I love that damn game.
Surprises you. You've
So
changed
good.
a lot over the years, Cody. Let me tell you.
I've changed a lot.
Next
I
thing you
used to
know,
be
Sorry.
Call of Duty, bro.
Here, chew on this this flash stone, and you'll evolve into something new, a better version of yourself.
have,
You might say.
It really has.
To an extent, better and worse.
It was like, man, anime is stupid. And I was like, hey, how about One Punch Man? Look, it's not that bad.
Loved it.
Loved it. Whoa. We're edging our.
So-
He's got his toe in
I'm
the
getting
water.
there.
We're getting there.
I'm almost a weeboo, man.
Yeah, everyone's got their own taste, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Have fun with your life.
Suck dick.
Well, you know, whatever you want to do.
Speaking of which, not speaking of which. Sorry.
Yeah.
video games.
Whoa. Whoa. Speaking of which, what's happening here?
No, I was looking through Polygon earlier, and there's a game called Spiritfarer. It's one word. It's fucking weird.
Spirit fighter? What? Spirit farter? What?
Spirit, F-A-R-E-R. Put it together. What is it?
I don't fucking dare.
Well, yeah, because when you say far, it just sounds far. Here, I'll just post it. Oh, it's
All right, Spirit Farter. What is it?
Spirit Farter. Oh, apparently it's
Send me Spirit Farter.
Oh, yeah, I'll wrap up. Sorry. No. It just says it has a strong animal.
Fairer.
Fairer? Spirit Fairer? Is that?
It looks like a fairy,
Spirit fair.
bro.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
fair. Like you're a
Fairy.
fair.
You're Fairyman. Fairyman.
My bad. Shit, everybody. Fucking get off
It
my
looks like a boat, bro. It's a fairy.
I live in Kansas. I'm landlocked. When's the last time I've seen a fucking boat fair?
I don't know.
God damn it. Anyway, it says it has a lot of Animal
You are
Crossing
so
vibes, and
precious.
that's so my thing. So I just maybe Cody, if
Here.
you want to, touch up on this game, maybe it's
Where's it at?
multiplayer. I don't know. I posted in the fucking
Xbox.
Discord.
Oh, next year. Oh shit. Yeah, we can, but in 7 months, 8 months
Sure.
maybe.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up. We had a lot. I
Yep.
still have so much to fucking.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I had one. Oh no, I got to talk through all my.
Context of my so like my desktop when we started this fucking podcast, I had literally 50 plus tabs open.
So we'll just do another episode later this week. we'll stock up.
I still have 10 tabs open. I
Save
was
'em?
going through some
Yeah,
of the more
same.
important ones, but
Yeah, it was fun though.
yeah.
Good one.
Yeah,
lots
thanks
of,
for
lots of talking there.
that one went by really fast. Like
It really
I-
did.
it felt like 15 minutes, and I looked at the time and it was like, oh, 45. I was like, oh god damn.
Yeah, that's about where I was.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. About said watching, or yeah, fuck, if you're on YouTube looking at our dice, it's whatever. Oh, we have a cool layout coming up soon, so
Oh yeah.
fresh eyes and looks, and hell yeah.
Fresh new jams. Fat beatsies. Fat beatsies.
That beats you. We need an intro song. That reminds me.
Oh,
Anyway,
that'd be
I'll
cool.
work on it. I got a friend of mine who does music. I'll get him on
Oh my
it.
god.
She's got friends.
God damn. Is it Cooper? Are you gonna call him yet? Can you get him on?
No, but I got people. I'll have my people. I'll call my people. And if they don't,
I was gonna say I'll
I'll
have
call
my
my
people
people.
call your people, but you're their person and you're
I
our
am my
person.
own purple.
So
I am my own purple.
what the
my
fuck?
own people. There we
She's
go.
her own purple. Leave her alone.
Hey, I bleed purple, so clearly, I mean, there's a correlate. I don't know, whatever. Just
There
go.
you go.
Just go.
All right.
Just shut things
Just
off.
go into damn
Cut me
thing.
off.
You
Cut
can
me off
find
mid-
me at Console Required on Twitter, at Cody CMAX Survival, Bearded XP, Gelf TV, Patreon. Thank you to our patrons, Time Jumper, Risu, wonderful people, appreciate it. Patreon.com/console required, YouTube.com/console required, and if you're on Spotify, there's gonna be a Spotify link. Our Bitly link actually doesn't work.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
No, it didn't work the day after she said it. I
Oh
tried
no.
it. It's all good. We'll get it fixed up. No big deal. Don't
It
worry about it.
worked. What?
Just click the giant link that's under the YouTube
fix
video.
it.
You'll be fine. Appreciate
damn
the
it.
support. Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
And remember, be your own purple.